Hello, boys and girls. Did you miss me? No one watches this at this juncture. I know that. So, I didn't produce one of these for a little bit because I've been working on submitting my feature-length films to the Ann Arbor Film Festival. So excuse me for that interim. I'm sure that no one is too disappointed. I'm not promoting it, so I'm just trying to create the habit, so to speak. Here's an intro to watching this. I encourage you to check it out. It's on the 8th C. That's feature-length film about the accumulations of the Great Lakes, Great Lakes, North America, and also A Simple Truth, which is it's about a relationship between two people, one in a inpatient religious rehab and the other not. So it's about the time that they're allowed to spend together, while the one individual is undergoing a spiritual renewal. I think that's close enough to what happened. Excuse me. So, what else we got here? I'm going to start creating segments, ongoing segments. I think I may have mentioned that. It's like I guess I did like sporadically, so so I'm gonna, a couple of these, I need to bring these in and just see if they're going to be, it's one of those things where I just do it, and there's more pressure on me to do it. Which one of these do I think is the best idea? I like Roger reads the Bible. I like that idea. I just read, a couple paragraphs of the Bible and, discuss them maybe once a week. It'll take forever to get through the damn thing, but it would be good to give a rational interpretation to that book. I mean, I've read it a lot, and I've studied it a lot, and I do understand it very well. And listening to other people interpret that book is often enraging, because it's clear that they have no earnest intention of interpreting it accurately, and they're talking to a bunch of people that have never read it and have no context for what they're saying, so they can literally give license to say anything. And that's what's really frustrating is I don't understand why Christians don't have any understanding of the Bible. I don't understand how you can believe something to be cosmic. How can you believe something that you don't even understand? How can you believe something that you don't even know? You're saying it's like sitting here in a book and you're just saying, I believe it. You have no context for the interior of it. You have no context of what you even believe in. It's very, very bizarre and peculiar to me, and it's hard for me to understand because it's illogical. And it's the product of education and indoctrination. That's the only thing it can be the product of, because people are naturally this stupid. They need to be made this stupid. You need to be educated this stupid. And so I'm thinking that, it's like the visual media. It can be used to indoctrinate, or it can be used to enable people. And I guess I would just like to, I think the most important thing that I could possibly do is to in that book, because it is being utilized for the worst evil, period. I mean, the worst things that I'm witnessing have all been given license by some distorted form of Christianity. Plus the divine permission stuff. And then just the obedience and submission shit. But I think the worst is to be like the sheep, be like the children, all that, Those are meant to say, be ignorant. Those are meant to say, the sheep, the children, they do not intellectually defraud people. And this leads into the God's name in vain thing, right? It's don't intellectually twist facts or the religion to exploit people. Don't use God's name in vain in the sense that don't use God as a tool to enable your own cruel or evil acts. I mean, thinking the distortion that someone saying "God damn it" is what they're talking about is incredibly insidious, because it completely blindsides the entirety of the captive audience to the fact that manipulating religion is a major problem and a big focus of the New Testament. Okay, so like pretending God's name in vain is something else, and really distorting the entirety of the contents of the Bible and preventing congregations from actually reading and analyzing it themselves, and also the distortions of the translations. It's disgusting. It is disgusting, and so I think that if we can get to a point where the Bible, especially the New Testament, isn't being so easily exploited for what is evil, then our society can move forward. But without that, the fact of the matter is right now is all that Christianity is an in-group, out-group mechanism. Someone's wearing a cross, someone hearkens to Jesus or God, they're in the in-group, right? And so what happens if that's not sincere, and it is only to access the in-group and to exploit your ignorance and religious in-grouping, your indoctrination? Because that's what's happening. I mean, it should be really obvious just by the way that people use their religion. I mean, the amount of crosses, arbitrary crosses on these public figures tattooed on them or wearing them, and they're just, how many of them are wearing them because they have an authentic belief in the altruistic example that Jesus gave, and how many of them just know that they will get likes and follows and positive PR because of the fact that they're wearing crosses, because that's what Christianity has become now, is an in-group. And everything about the way that it is portrayed in mass media should suggest to you that it is an indoctrination scheme above anything else, because there is no real content to what is being expressed when you see an in-grouping dog whistle. God won, bounce around, doesn't say anything. And the idea that this is evangelism isn't true. Evangelism bitch that don't see people as people, all people as people, and prefer to focus on the elements that were absolutely added with the intent of exploitation. Look into Marcion. I mean, anyway, then think about it. Like, it's much easier to exploit you in an in-group, out-group philosophical and ethical paradigm, where the most important thing is whether or not you're a Christian, whether or not you believe in Jesus. And if you don't specifically believe in the teachings of Jesus that I personally prescribe to, then you're in the out group, and therefore you deserve different treatment from those. That is the antithesis of a core belief, and it is a manipulation. You shouldn't be treating people differently based on their beliefs, regardless. But obviously, this is most prevalent in my experience in Christian denominations. especially those that are being exploited for political reasons, which is all of them, because they're a major voting bloc, and because they have been coalesced into a singular voting bloc through the wedge issue of abortion, which I would really encourage people to investigate the abortion issue. Actually educate yourself on it. Don't just explore your echo chamber. Because the fact of the matter is, if you really want to save babies' lives, then you're going to have to want to support a rational abortion legislation. The reason that FDA said to decriminalize abortion is because of the sheer volume of infant and mother deaths that were avoidable if it were undertaken in the medical atmosphere. The fact of the matter is abortions generally go down after the implementation of a rational legislation. Also, the reason that abortion is such a beautiful wedge issue is because a lot of men are utilizing Christianity now as a means of advancing a misogynistic agenda. And preventing abortion is a very convenient way of greatly reducing the agency that women have over themselves. Period. It is a status as human beings, and that's very, very detrimental. I personally think that abortion is ethically abhorrent, but at the same time, there are tons of things that are ethically abhorrent that aren't illegal, because they can't be. And there are several things that are illegal that are ethically abhorrent that are never prosecuted or effectively prosecuted. And that's what ends up happening. You'll have back alley abortions, and people will die from sepsis. And more than that, you'll have a lot more kids that are hated by their parents, frankly. Poor, you know. And it's better to have a life of misery or no life at all. I mean, that's a debate. That is a debate. But I think but on a legislative basis, it is completely rational and detrimental to everyone if we have a draconian zero abortion legislation. That's insane. There's something in the middle there that's more rational. Term abortions, that's probably unethical. Early term, that's, I don't know. It depends probably on the situation. But again, to decriminalize them absolutely is going to result in a far more messed up society than to have a rational, legalized pathway. It's the same with the drugs. You're not going to prevent the abortion, just like the drugs use of drugs. You're just going to make it more dangerous, and you're going to make it more socially harmful. Oh, shit. Wait. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're going to make it just more dangerous, more socially harmful. And you have to think about it. All the wealthy people, they'll be able to get their abortions somewhere else. It's really just another law that only is applied to the poor and middle class, just like the drug laws. When they legislate morality, it only applies to the middle class and lower class. It does not apply to the upper class. That's another thing you need to realize, is that these people are imposing upon you legislations that do not apply to them. So please, wake up, open your mind. Please, be better, people. Stop letting people convince you that you aren't better, because you are. I mean, I'd appreciate some subscribes and shit. All that other crap. But, again, I'm not promoting it yet. I'm thinking that when I actually do... I gotta stop. I'm congested, excuse me. I realize that I'm gonna have to... I have ideas to promote this, and I know that I will be able to get into the, thousands of views pretty easily. I mean, I've come up with some pretty good marketing concepts. But the thing is obviously it needs to be at a point where it's ready to be marketed, and I'd like to take the next step. I think that doing them... Oh, I need to do shorts. Fuck. I need to do shorts, too. I gotta go. It's probably too long. Bye.